everyone. So we are going to do a strengthening practice today. And actually I'm going to call it Strong Like Bear because it is one of my best friend's birthdays today, and his name is Bear. So let's just do a yoga video for him. We're going to start exactly the same way as we always do, with a dog and laying on our bellies. So when you're ready, go ahead and lay down onto your abdomen. You might want to have nearby blocks and a blanket, just because I'm a huge fan of props. And I think that they're really useful when you don't know what's coming, just to make sure you're safe. So we start our practice off the same way every time on purpose. That way our bodies kind of get used to the idea that this is it, this is our practice, we're going to be here for a little bit, just moving and exploring and connecting to our breath and our body and our minds. So once you're laying down on the ground, go ahead and place your head down onto your arms or your hands. Close your eyes. I'm going to lift my head so you can hear me. Soften your breath and start to feel your inhale and your exhale. So feeling that nice deep breath in, maybe the belly expands a little bit. And that deep breath out, the belly button draws towards the spine. And just taking your time here, deep breath in and deep breath out. Letting the abdomen press against the floor as you inhale, and then contract just a little bit as you exhale. And we'll take that breath maybe 1 or 2 more times, just letting the body settle. Let's take the legs nice and wide apart. Bend both our knees and start to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. So both legs go in one direction, then across to the other direction from side to side. Maybe the hips start to wiggle a little bit, maybe the lower back starts to loosen. Maybe as we move to the left, our right hip lifts, and as we move to the right, our left hip lifts. No big deal, just letting the body wiggle from side to side a bit. Then we'll come back to center, extend the legs. Press the hands into the floor in whatever manner feels best for you. Keep the legs wide, push up, come to the knees, pull your big toe mounds of your feet together, roll back into a child's pose. So you're just drawing the hips back and letting the buttocks rest onto your heels or wherever they go. Maybe taking some height under your forehead. Letting your tailbone reach back. And taking 1 or 2 more breaths here. Letting your body settle. And then from here, let's go ahead and extend the arms. Take a big stretch if they're not already there. And then nice and slow, roll forward into hands and knees. Again, we just start the same way each time. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Big deep breath in, hips lift, head lifts. And then exhaling, rounding the spine. Moving slow and steady between these two. And then bringing the spine to a neutral position. Walk your hands forward. tuck your toes, and come into down dog for a moment. Maybe lifting your heels nice and high, shaking out your head, softening your breath, making sure your feet are 3 to 5 inches apart, lifting that tailbone up nice and high, and just starting to walk out your dog here. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Letting that chest come a little closer to the thighs. And then lifting your heels, maybe bending your knees and lowering the heels and seeing where you're at today. And then knowing that this will probably change as class continues. And then from here, let's walk our feet forward towards our hands. Tiny baby steps to get there. And then nice and slow, we're going to come all the way up to standing. Stretching the arms overhead, big stretch to the sky. And then exhaling and finding ourselves in mountain pose. Adjusting the clothing, which is basically at this point something I do in every video. Both feet facing forward, allowing your eyes to close, lifting through the center of the chest, taking a slight bend in your knees, not so much that you're in a chair, but that you're pushing into the ground a little bit more. So you're really placing yourself sturdily onto the ground or into the earth. And letting the shoulders draw back and down. Again, finding that nice alignment in the side body. Now with an inhalation, we're going to reach the arms up. We're going to move through one sun salutation. Maybe lifting the center of the chest. And then exhale, bend the knees a little bit on your way down. That way we can start to get some length in the back of the legs. Shake out your head. We'll take it nice and slow for a moment here. Maybe shifting the weight forward towards the balls of the feet. I'm going to move away from my couch a little bit here. And then inhale, take the hands to the shins. Lengthen the top of your head forward. See if you can get a little more space in the back of the legs. And then exhale and forward fold again. Now, if you're using blocks, this is a good time to bring them next to your feet, and I'll probably show this one with blocks. On your next inhalation, the right leg's going to come back. We're going to find a high lunge. Big deep breath, and then exhale, step your left leg back. This is a nice plank. And then with that exhalation, lower your knees. If you're using blocks, you can just bend your elbows back and bring the chest above the blocks. Roll those shoulders back. Inhale, lift the heart. Pull the core in just a little bit, just so you don't put all that weight in your lower back. And then as you exhale, contract deeper from the navel and push back into down dog. On your next inhalation, blocks will give you some height here, so let's carry that right foot forward. However you get there is fine. You can always lift and pull. Press back through that left heel. Now strong step forward with an exhale into a forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Big stretch to the sky. Slight lift of the heart. And then exhale, draw it all the way back down again. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg comes back. Nice big stretch back. Exhale, right leg comes back. Continue to breathe out as you lower your knees. Bend your elbows. Inhale, lift your heart, roll the shoulders back. And then exhale, down dog. Stretching it back. Inhale, left leg comes forward. Get it there whatever way you can. Core engagement to get there. And then exhale, right leg comes forward, forward fold. Wherever you are is fine. Maybe today your forward fold has a slight bend to it. Mine does, I know it will. Inhale, press through your feet, rise all the way up. Big stretch. And then exhale and let the arms rest down by your sides again. So we're going to go into a chair pose at the moment. So starting off strong, as I mentioned, strong like a bear. We're going to sit back. Bring the hips back, bring the weight back just a bit here. Keep the tailbone long though, pull the lower belly in. This is your first chair. And then for most of us, we have a tendency to start to wiggle those knees here. So if you place a block between your knees, hence the shorts, you can see the block easier. You're going to squeeze the block so that you don't bring one knee forward, bring the other knee forward, or try to bow. Good. Sitting back, nice and strong, finding that engagement here in both side waists. Finding the shoulder blades drawing down. And then we're going to take this to an awkward chair. We're going to lift the heels, stay in that bent knee position. Wiggle a little bit, shake a little bit, engage the core a lot. Breathe. And then we're going to lower that heel back down, and we're going to place the hands together in front of our heart. Big, deep stretch breath. Find that front of your body. And then as you exhale, you're going to take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee without moving your left knee forward. So, nice and slow, taking that elbow back. For some people, that's going to be a little difficult. So you might want to place the left hand to your right knee and your right hand to your right hip and twist that way. So finding the one that feels comfortable for you. Inhale, come back to chair. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, lift the heels. Awkward, awkward, awkward. And then exhale, lower the heels. Let's take it right into the twist on the other side. Don't roll your right knee forward. Remember your modification. Inhale, come back to chair. Back into awkward chair last time. Lower the heels. Inhale, press up. Exhale, forward fold. Take that block from between your knees. Shake out your head, soften your neck and your jaw. There's not much that feels as good as a forward bend after a chair pose. And then again, we can use the blocks here. We can place those hands right onto the blocks at this level or even higher. And we're going to step back with our right leg coming into a lunge. So the right leg's going to come back. The left knee is going to bend. Fingertips can come to the floor of the blocks. Left knee over the ankle. Right heel pushes back. Right thigh's reaching to the sky here. Shoulder blades draw back. Finding that nice strong lunge. And then when you're ready, we're going to just go ahead and take it a little higher. You might want to stay on those blocks. Maybe not. Hands stay onto the left thigh if you want to. Push back through that right heel. And if you'd like, you can try and reach those arms up by your ears. Try not to grip the floor with your left toes. Pushing back through that right heel. Moving that right hip forward. Breathing. Staying in it for maybe 3 more breaths. Looking for that strength. Squeezing that left leg to center a bit. And exhale, hands are going to come down and the right leg's going to come forward, just like we do in a sun salutation. Let your body fold. Shake out your head, soften your neck and your jaw. Take those moments. And then let's go ahead and do it again. So the hands come to the blocks. This time the left leg's going to come back. We're going to go ahead and find that nice, strong lunge. Maybe first the fingertips stay on the blocks. We get the body right. We move the left hips forward. We move the right hip back a bit. Try to keep everything even. Back thighs lifted. And then when we're ready, we start to bring our hands to the front thigh. Maybe this is where we stay. Shoulder blades draw back and down. Or we sweep the arms up whatever way we want. Right knee over the ankle. Push back through that left heel. Find that strength. Be strong here. Feel that breath. Holding you up. Maintaining the integrity of the body. Couple more breaths here. Maybe 3. Don't squeeze the floor with your toes. Don't drop that back knee. 2 more breaths. Exhale, take it all the way down. And step forward again, forward fold. Nice stretch here. Just breathe. See the difference between the 2 legs, or if there's a difference between this forward fold and your first couple. And then from this position, let's go ahead and come all the way up to mountain. Big stretch. And then all the way back down to that forward fold. And then inhale, let's step back with our right leg again. So the right leg's going to come back, we're back into our lunge. And then from here, we're gonna spin that right heel to the floor, lining up left heel with right instep, lifting the arch on that right leg. And then keeping that left knee over your ankle, let's sweep that right arm up, left arm follows, warrior two. So finding that nice, strong warrior two posture, right? The hips are nice and level, the head's reaching to the sky, tailbone's drawing down. Nice, strong pose. Thinking of all of those warriors right now, whether they're on the field of battle or they're on the field of medicine right now, keeping them in mind, sending our strength to them as we build our own strength from the earth. We're going to go ahead and take this to a side angle with an exhale, so that left elbow is going to come to the left thigh. We'll sweep this right arm by our right ear, moving that right hip back as we rotate. Giving space in the ribs. Breathe in deep. Don't push down through those left big toes or pinky toes. We're not gripping the earth. We're not clawing at the ground here, right? We're doing this with the strength of our bodies. One last breath. Beautiful. We're going to come out into warrior two first, and then we're going to rotate back down. Left hand, right hand, lift the back heel, step that right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up, take that big stretch. Exhale, take it all the way back down. Inhale, left leg comes back this time, so we're going to step that left leg back, nice strong step. Find the lunge first. Spin the left heel to the ground, so our right instep lines up with the left, or I'm sorry, the right heel lines up with the left instep. And then we're going to open this up into warrior two. You can lift with that left arm. Take that right arm out to the side. Right knee over top of the ankle as best as you can, almost trying to bring the right thigh parallel with the floor if that's something that works for you today. Shoulder blades are back and down. Looking for strength in the legs, yes, but strength in the upper body as well and the torso. Not just pushing that left knee back, but engaging the left thigh. Pushing down a bit more through that left pinky toe side of your foot. Let's be here for one more breath. Right elbow with an exhale is going to come right down to that right hip or thigh. And we're going to sweep this left arm by our left ear. Looking for that rotation here. Drawing the hip back, breathing. Staying strong with our inhales and our exhales. Staying open in the body. Trying not to just prop or drop, but instead spreading open that chest. 3 more breaths. Don't lose your knee. 2 more breaths. Last one. Beautiful. Take it through warrior two. And then all the way down. Right. Left. Lift that back heel. Let's go ahead and step back into down dog from here. So you can use the blocks, or blocks will go away and you'll use your hands on the floor. Taking some deep breaths here. Making sure your heels aren't rolling in, keeping them directly out. That happens to some of us after a while. External rotation of the upper arms as you press the base of the thumb, the first finger. 1 more breath, just stretching it back. Beautiful. Let's make our way to the front of the mat. So lifting the heels, pulling the core in the whole time, walking forward. And then from here, having those blocks nearby in case you need them, okay? There might be an opportunity here. We're gonna come all the way up, press through those feet to rise, either hip distance apart if possible. And we're gonna take those arms down. Going into Warrior One or Virabhadrasana 1, Udrasana, always say it wrong. Take that right leg back. So once the right leg is back, we're going to change the alignment technique here. So the heel-to-heel alignment is fine, or so that would be like walking on a tightrope. Or for some people, that's a little bit too much to ask of balance. So you'll be taking that foot out so you're walking more like railroad tracks, right? So you're hip distance apart, really. So depending on what you're looking for, right? What you're needing in this moment. If you're going heel to heel or railroad tracks, the right toes are not facing the exact same direction as the left. Right toes are actually facing towards that right shoulder a bit. There's a rotation of the hip forward here and the left hip back so that we're keeping the hips level. We're keeping them right in line with the small side of our mat. And the left knee is going to stay over the ankle, not past. And if it's not getting anywhere near the ankle, maybe check the amount of space between your legs. You might need to be wider or closer depending on what feels best in your body. Bringing the arms up, this is Vira 1. Don't hyperextend or hypermobilize in that upper back. So it's not a ballerina look. It's more of a structured look. So you're engaging the core and lifting through the center of the chest. Not just pushing everything forward. Keeping the core engaged. And that's going to come in really helpful in the next posture. So this is Warrior One, that strong posture of strength and again, just really finding that warrior within. And then from here, we're going to take this into Warrior 3. And there's a variation here that we can take if we're not feeling super balanced. We're going to bring the body forward. The arms are going to add an extra intricacy to this posture, so it's going to make it a little bit harder having that longer lever. So some people prefer having their arms back when they lift the back heel. For some of us, we're just going to stay here. Some people might have a chair in front of them or a couch, and you can maybe lift a little bit higher. Some people might find that using blocks is helpful. They might not have as much furniture near them, and that gives them a little bit more lift. Or some people are going to go for full Warrior 3. Trying to keep the hips level. Whoop. One more breath. Push through that left foot. Pull that right knee in if you can. If you just take a mountain pose for a moment, take it. And then lift your right knee. Stretch it over your left thigh. If you need to, place your toes on a block next to your foot. Or sit back, finding the bottom half of an eagle posture. Maybe you wrap your toes behind your ankle or calf, that's up to you. Arms come forward, left arm over right, shoulders drop, arms lift. Squeeze the legs, pull the core in, draw the tail back. One more breath, and release. Press through that left foot, take the right foot to the floor. Relax the arms. Make sure you breathe through these postures. It's easy to hold your breath during balance postures. We think if we hold the breath, then we won't fall. It's not true. Lots of times people stop breathing and they fall. Left foot. Left foot comes back. Again, we're looking for that Warrior One posture. Bringing the arms up. If you've been practicing for a long time, you know how to modify postures to make them more difficult or easier or just more to the level that you're working with. It's hard to do all of that in a yoga video because I can't see who's doing it, right? So instead, we're just going to do a full covering of whatever I could consider open to anybody. Here we go, warrior three. Remember, this one's a little easier. You can even lift. You can put your hands on blocks, or you can reach your arms forward. So just holding here, pulling the core and trying to keep that left hip level with the right. Don't lift the leg higher. Strong right leg, falling out. One more breath. Beautiful push to that right foot. Carry that left leg in, or take a break. Find a block if you need to. Sit back. Nice. Right arm over left. Shoulders down. Core is engaged. Squeeze. Oh, the squeezing. Keep breathing. Don't just hold your breath. It's a long time to hold your breath. Last one. Press up, out, unwind, mountain pose. Take a couple deep breaths. Be wherever you're at. And then take that forward fold again. Nice and slow on your way down. We're going to walk our feet back to a down dog. You can use your blocks if you need to. Shaking out that head. Imagining that those inner thighs are rolling back to the wall behind you. One more breath. Then we're going to transition to a dolphin posture. So for some people, you might want to put your knees on the ground. Take the elbows underneath of your shoulders. Interlace your fingers here. And then shift back into a down dog in your legs. So the elbows are on the ground, forearms are on the ground. We'll down dog in the legs. And for most people, their heels are not going to touch the floor. And that's okay. Because really, I'd like you to focus more on keeping your head from dropping to the earth. That means that the shoulders are going to draw back a little bit, and the head's going to keep lifted above the floor. It's hard to tell with me because I have so much hair, but as I press my forearms away, my shoulders are drawing back, and my head, there we go, is not on the ground. You can bend your knees here, if your hamstrings are still tight. You can let your heels start to descend back as you push your hips up. Wherever you are is fine. Body acceptance is more important. Body awareness is even better. We're going to come from this dolphin in about 3 breaths. Try not to let those elbows splay. Keep them right on the line with your shoulders. And then we're going to come forward into a plank. So I'm going to walk my feet back and place my elbows right underneath of my shoulders. Pushing my heels back. Again, not a weird amalgamation of everything else that I've done. Pushing and breathing. Staying strong. We're going to be here for 6 breaths, so take them slow. Don't hold your breath. It doesn't make it any easier. It's okay to shake. Let the body do the work. You can take those breaks by putting the knees on the ground. 2 more breaths. Keep breathing. Core explosion. And then when you're ready, lower your knees to the floor. We're going to take those hands straight to the ground under our shoulders. Again, we're working with strength, but we're working with all levels of strength. So this might be the time that you modify your planks and your side planks. So let's go over the modification first. Hands under the shoulders, knees on the ground. Core is engaged, so you're still finding structure in the abdomen here. We're not just letting the belly hang out. Shoulder blades draw back. We're going to go straight into a regular plank. If you're feeling it today, we're going to hold this for 5 breaths, so it's that nice strong breath. 4 more, push back through your heels. Core, core, core. 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down. Moving into a side plank variation. So for those of you who can do side plank, you know how to get into it, and we'll go over it again in a second. But for those of you who have a hard time with side plank, lift your left foot off the ground. Move that left foot like a kickstand off the mat. Keep your left hand under your shoulder. Send the right leg back and reach your right arm up. Okay? See if that helps. Keep lifting through the left side. For those of you who can do a regular side plank, here we go. So you're going to pick the one you want. We're going to stack or stagger the feet, so you can shift both your heels to the left, reach the right arm up, or you can stack that right foot on top of the left. Try not to rotate the chest. That's just going to take the pressure off of lifting through the core. Be here for 3, lift, 2, even if the knee's down, and 1. Take that right hand down, find your plank or your knee plank. And let's go ahead and do it again on the other side. Shifting to the right, you can take that right knee to the floor if you need to. Left arm comes up. Stack or stagger. Don't rotate your hips, keep them level. 3, 2, 1. Take it all the way back down. And then lower all the way to the floor in whatever way you feel comfortable doing it. Take a moment, maybe the arms need to rest. One or two more breaths here, really just trying to breathe through. And then finally, we're not finally actually, not there yet, but let's go ahead and come into a back bend. Depending on your comfort level in back bends or the amount of flexibility or strength you have, you might end up doing this variation twice instead of the second variation. So the first one that we're going to do is a variation of Shavasana, a variation of locust. We're going to bring the arms down. And remember that this doesn't have to be the craziest pose ever, right? You don't have to make this the most perfect posture in the world, just one that's comfortable in your body and safe for your body and works you a little bit more than maybe just like laying on your belly. So the legs are going to come pretty close together here. We're going to start to lift the upper body off the ground. So we're just going to lift gently and then reach the arms back. And then maybe we can lift the legs too. Squeezing towards the side body. Big deep breath, lengthening into the lower back. Staying strong, holding an imaginary beach ball behind us. And lowering. Getting that length in the lower back even though we're lifting. And strengthening the back as well. Not many things you do in life unless you're going to the gym and focusing that does a lot of strengthening in the back. And then from here, we're going to move right into a bow. So if you're not about this, don't do it, right? No need to worry about it. But if you want to, bend both your knees, reach back one hand to an ankle, then the other. Knees want to splay here. We actually want to bring our heels apart. And then we can go ahead and bring them back together. We can find ourselves back into center. You might be grabbing your feet, you might be grabbing your ankles, that's up to you. Big deep stretch to the front of the body. Core stays engaged. Inhale, lift the chest, maybe the knees. Doesn't have to be the highest pose ever. Big deep breaths into the belly. One more. Nice and slow, come out. Relax the legs. Maybe, or take the arms underneath of our head, bend the knees and just wiggle from side to side, excuse me. releasing any of that tightness that comes into the lower back. Then we'll relax the legs again. And we're going to go ahead and roll over onto our backs. So whatever way you want to come onto your backs, go ahead and do so. Once you're there, maybe we locate our trusty block again. And if you're not using blocks today, don't feel left out. There's a lot of people who aren't using blocks. So we're going to place this block between our knees. Again, much like in that chair posture, we don't want to splay the knees apart. You'll notice that in most of the postures today, even in bow, in that last posture we did, we don't want the knees to come apart. We actually want to keep them in line with the hip bones. We want to keep ourselves kind of moving towards center line even when we radiate outwards. And these poses are mostly contained. The arms are going to come down by the sides. We've done bridge before. It's not a Jane Fonda workout, although those are amazing. We are lifting the hips, pressing the hips towards the sky, maybe grabbing the sides of our mat to help squeeze our shoulders underneath of us, walking the feet in if we want to, pressing through those forearms. Maybe the hands come off the mat. Maybe you interlace, that's up to you. Pressing those hips up, pushing the knees away, pulling the feet towards you, chest towards your chin. Squeeze the block. One more breath. And then taking it down nice and slow, unleashing those shoulders. Go ahead and move that block. Take your feet wide apart. Just start to windshield wiper the legs from side to side for a moment. Let anything that's snuck into that lower back go away. And then we'll just go into one more strengthening posture before we start to move into our twists. So this last one, we're going to come up off the mat once again. We're going to go into a reverse plank. So the hands can come to the ground, palms can face the buttocks, chest lifts. And then from this position, we're going to lift the hips, and you might stay in what looks like a tabletop position. That might be your gig. Or you might try extending your legs and lifting your hips. We're going to hold here for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, take it all the way back down. And then again, using the core to help us, lower down onto your back. Walk your feet in. Feet about mat distance apart. Windshield wiper. Back into center. And then from this position, we're going to go into a single leg twist. We'll extend the right leg onto the floor. We're going to pull that left knee into our chest. We can hold here for a second. And then we're going to take that right hand to the outside of the left knee. And we're going to start to carry that left knee across the body towards the floor as that left arm reaches out to the side. So once we come across, a lot of people stop right about here. Maybe because they aren't aware that they can lift this glute off the floor a little bit more. You can come all the way over to the right hip here. You could even, and a lot of people do this because it's more comfortable, move that hip back. And then once you're here, you don't have to just push the knee to the floor so that your shoulder comes up. Instead, let the shoulder stay down and put blocks or something underneath your knee until the leg wants to let go. It's better to have the knee supported. It really is. We have a tendency to think it's okay to just drop the knee to the floor. Maybe because we're in a hurry to just get the twist done or to get into the good stuff, but you're at home. You're doing your home practice here. So let yourself cater to what your body needs more than you do in public class. this is one of 2 twists, so this one's not going to be a super long one. Let's go ahead and take it over to the other side. So we're going to go right back into center. Readjust. See how I have to move my hips back to center to get there because I've moved them out of the way. And then from here, extending the left leg, I'm going to grab my trusty block, bring it over to the side so I have it. And then I'm going to take my left hand to the outside of my right knee and start to carry that knee across my body, letting that right shoulder draw down. Again, did you notice that hip movement? I moved the hip back. I'm going to place my block at a little higher height under this side because this hip's been a little sore for me lately. And the right arm's going to come out, and the shoulders stay down. And there's a rotation here. There's a spinning that comes into the body. And we're just breathing. Letting there be an inhale and an exhale. One right after the other. See if you're holding into that left leg. Are you trying to stand on the wall while allowing your body to twist? See if you can release a little bit into that left leg. If you can release a little bit into the right side of the right thigh. If you can let your body be heavy. And one more breath here. And we're going to come out of this pose, same thing, just drawing ourselves down. Back into center. Let's go ahead and bring our knees into our chest for a moment and just rock a little bit from side to side. You can grab your shins, you can grab your thighs. And let's go ahead and place our feet back down onto the ground. So this time we're going to change the way we come into this twist. We're going to lift the hips off the ground about 2 or 3 inches. And we're going to shift these hips to the left 2 or 3 inches and drop the butt down. So now we're off center. The left hip's here, the shoulders are over here. So then we're going to pull the knees in. Again, you're off center. My buttocks are towards the left. And I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my left knee. And this is automatically going to drop me onto my right side. So onto my right thigh, right buttock, right hip. My left arm's just going to rest out to the side. You can place blocks between your knees here, right? You can let your knees rest on the blanket. My knees happen to be on the blanket right now. Or let your knees rest on a block. There shouldn't feel like there's pain in the groin or pain in the lower back here. And if the posture that we did earlier, one of the 2 twists that we did earlier feels better on your body, you should do that one, right? We already know you're strong like a bear. You don't have to push yourself through pain. Now we're just going to do one more side, right? Just one more. So coming back through center, we have to center everything. Because my hips are out to the side, I have to bring them back to center. And then we do the same exact thing. We push through the feet, we lift. Shift the hips to the right, drop the buttocks down, pull the knees in, take them all the way over to the left. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Slow, deep breaths into the body, into the belly, finding space. Maybe there is a block here. Maybe there is a block here, right? Maybe there's a block on both sides. Maybe there's no block. You can take this closer to your chest if you want to. See how that feels. But if those legs start to slowly come away, maybe honoring where the body wants you to be. And taking one more breath here. And let's come right back into center. Right back in there. All right, center the hips. And then from here, last time like this, let's exhale and pull the knees in. And then give ourselves an opportunity to be nice and deep here. So nice and inward. And if you need any extra movements, whatever you might need. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and lay it right down onto our mat. You can place a blanket under your head. I have kind of weird hair, so I can just make a little pillow with my dreads. And then let the arms rest down by your sides. If you're feeling cold, right? No point in being uncomfortable when you're trying to relax. Readjust your hips. Let the feet just turn out. I know you probably can't see my feet where they are. And let the arms rest. Close your eyes. And just feel the belly rise and fall. You're not really needing to pay attention to what's going on in the video, but instead just focusing on you and what you're doing. Letting your body just rest to the floor. The heaviness in the hands and the feet. The heaviness of the head. Letting yourself breathe. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. As always, you can stay here for as long as you are allowing yourself or feel comfortable being. Or you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Pull your knees towards your chest. Roll over to your right side in the fetal position, and then pressing that left hand into the floor, come all the way up to seated in whatever way works for you. Allow your eyes to close. Think to yourself what it means to be strong. Is it physical strength you're after? Mental? Emotional? Is there an importance to that strength? Are you strong for yourself and for others? What does strength mean to you? And taking maybe 1 or 2 more breaths, basking in the quiet. When you're ready, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart if that's part of your practice, or you can let your hands rest into your lap if that still remains part of your practice. The light within me honors, respects, and sees the light within you. For some of you, that means namaste. And if that's not part of what you do, then I wish you a wonderful day. I'm not even sure what day it is though. We're on Tuesday, but it might be Wednesday. Quarantine. Happy whatever day it is. And happy birthday to my friend the bear.